Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights. Hey, here on the table today, we have got this wonderful case. Mini fin is what I believe they call it, the model. And it's basically like a bird and trout knife. And this is one I picked up in the antique store here a few days ago, but it needs a little bit of work to get cleaned up. So here's the knife. And you can see it looks like somebody started to clean it and then stopped, but need to clean that blade off a little bit. I do believe that is stag, and some other people have confirmed they believe it's stag. So this is the condition of the knife, and we got to get it cleaned up. But first I thought I'd start with the sheath. And usually what I do with the sheath is I use a little bit of saddle soap. And saddle soap's been around for a lot of years. Now this is always a little bit controversial. You can see my soap's drying out here just a little bit. But what I got is a damp rag here, and I use just a little bit of soap. I don't use a lot. And the reason I say it's a little bit controversial sometimes is because in doing my research on how to, restore or preserve leather, it does say that saddle soap is not always the best for leather, and it has to do with the pH content. However, saddle soap has a much lower pH than just like regular soap and that. So I use just a tiny little amount. I don't use a lot, and I think it's okay to use on leather here like this, because you're not, using a whole lot of it, and you're not doing it all the time. So I think we're fine. We just need to clean it up here, take off some of that surface junk off of it, and then we'll be putting some conditioner. Now on the saddle soap, you never want to use it on the unfinished side, like right there. Don't use it on that. Don't use it only on the finished side here. But before we try to condition it, we got to clean it up here just a little bit. And it doesn't take much. Then we can set it off to the side and let it dry. Try to get this here a little bit. Best we can. That button's a little dirty. Now the sheath's not in excellent shape, but it's in decent shape, for the age. Okay, then I just take an area with it's clean. Wipe off any excess. And then we'll just set it off to the side and let it dry. And we'll condition it later. So that part is done. Okay. So look at these little spots here. For this, we need to use a little bit of rubbing compound. That's what I'm going to start with. And let me see here. I'll get a Q-tip. Q-tip with a little bit of rubbing compound. And we'll see if we can clean these pins off a little bit. Yep, starting to come off. Oh, it's cleaning it right up, isn't it? See there? Cleaned it right up. We got a little bit more down here. Clean that off. While I got a Q-tip, let's just hit all the pins here. And got a bunch of stuff right here, and that's the transition from the metal to the bone there, that brass. We do not want the Dremel near that, do we? We don't want to hurt that bone. There. Oh, it came off. Look at that. Any of this you can remove by hand without using the Dremel is better, in my opinion. Yeah, let's just keep using the Q-tips on this. See what we can get off of here. Now for you at home, if you don't have a Dremel tool or that, you can see that you can do just about everything I do in refurbishing these old knives, you can do by hand. It's just going to take you longer. The Dremel expedites things. But as you can see, we're getting rid of a lot of it just doing this. Got a little bit of that green stuff right there. Just gently wipe that off. There, see how that came off? Okay, let's get working on this blade. Okay, again, we start out with our rubbing compound. We'll see how we do on this blade. See how well it cleans up, huh? We're getting there. Okay, I'm going to stop right now. I don't want to overheat the blade. See, she's starting to clean up. What about this pommel? Now, the pommel's kind of hard to do. So, let's try this. Especially this little tiny pommel. I don't know if it's easier to hold the Dremel and bump it like that. This looks like it's aluminum. I'm trying to hold this so that the sharp edge is away from me in case this thing catches and flips on me. I don't want it to flip back and cut me. Don't want to hit that handle. I've done some polishing of this aluminum before, and it seems like it was always kind of hard to get it done evenly. Let's just see what we got here. Yeah, it's cleaned up. It's cleaning up. And then you always have to worry about the tang down in here. And again, it's sandwiched in between the bone. So it's always a challenge, a little bit of a challenge to work on it without hitting the bone. So what I have here is some, what is this? 2500 grit sandpaper, very fine. And we're just going to try to sand on this a little bit. Doesn't look bad. Just make sure we got rid of any rust that might be on there. See, it looks pretty dirty there. Almost like a little bit of rust on there. So that's what I'm going to be working on here a little bit. I'll do some work off camera and then we'll check it out. This is where we stand. I've hit that blade a couple more times. You can see we're going to end up with an uneven sheen to it. I don't know what they did to, they hit that with sandpaper or what. So it's kind of two-tone, but we've got rid of all the gunk and junk on it. See there in our pommel. And never forget underneath, bottom side. What I did here on this is I did use the Dremel with the wire wheel because it fits right in there, but very gently and carefully went in there, removed, kind of cleaned that up some. See, that looks a lot better. These emery boards again are fantastic because when you put your cleaning patch down, because some of these little areas are hard to really get to. But that emery board, you know, it's got the grit on it, so it grabs that cloth. And flat surfaces like that, these little areas, it's just a wonderful way to clean those areas off. So you can see our pommel's looking nice. This aluminum, I don't know, it doesn't have to be brightly polished, but you can see it's clean. It looks evenly, it looks done evenly here. We might try some case paste on that to clean it, polish it up a little bit. But yeah, that's where we look. This is going to go into mineral oil because I want it to soak and get into that stag and help preserve that stag, kind of moisturize that stag a little bit. And speaking of adding some moisturization, I've got this leather conditioner, and this is from LCK Knives on Etsy. Although he did recently change his channel name. But a lot of this is just mineral oil, and he's got some other ingredients in with it to make a paste. The nice thing is there's no chemicals to it. It's all natural. So it doesn't hurt if you get it on your skin. And you can just rub it on there, rub it in. We'll let it dry, and then we can always buff it a little bit. One thing you can do with this, if you wanted to, is maybe set it somewhere to get it warmed up good. So it's not quite so hard, but we're working okay with it. So again, leather is skin, so you need to keep it moisturized. And I've done a lot of searches online about, you know, what's the best leather preservative and things like that. And I tell you what, and I always get a comment about, well, I use this and I use that, and that's fantastic. But I'm just saying, and why I'm chuckling is because it seems like mink oil, you know, it didn't matter what the product was, there was a problem with it, that it did this to the leather or it might do that with the leather. And I'm thinking, you know, it's maybe like after prolonged use or heavy use of it. So there does not seem to be any perfect leather conditioner out there. So just letting you know. But this this helps keep it supple, not subtle, supple. So you see, very easy. Again, it doesn't hurt you. at all. And we can always take us a soft, clean rag and you can buff it, shine it a little, wipe off the excess. And looky there, look at how that's coming out. Doesn't that look good? You know, for an old sheath, she's looking pretty good. And that's the problem with these old fixed blades. A lot of times you can find the knife in decent condition, but the sheath is not with it, or the sheath is all rotted up, rotted out. This is not in the best condition, because you can see here, well, I need to do a little cleaning there, but you can see here, that's pretty worn. But it'll be fine for storage. And then you can see way down in there it says Case XX. Yeah. Okay, well, let's throw this in the mineral oil and we'll be back. Boy, this knife has turned out looking nicer than what I thought it would. Just look at that sheen on that stag. Oh my goodness. That mineral oil sure does a wonderful job, doesn't it? Yeah, it helps that stag or bone or even other handle material from drying out. You know, it can crack after time. So there we have it. There's a look at the knife. Looking pretty good. Now, I could keep working on it, keep polishing and this and that, but I think we've hit the sweet spot. We've still got some of the patina left on the pommel there. And this kind of shows its age just a little bit. So not everything has to be brought back to showroom new for it to be a fine looking knife. We've gotten rid of the rust. Looks very good. And of course our sheath one more time. Now I do have a couple other mini fins by Case. And here's another old one here. And as you can see, it has just the plain Case stamped in there. So it's the same tag stamp on there. But you can see this one's stacked leather. We can see the half guard here is a little bit longer, a little wider. So there's some differences. The jimping is different. And when you look at the pommels, same basic shape, but you can see this one's bigger. Somebody used this one for beating on something. But yeah, you can see. So basically the same time period it looks like, but constructed just a little bit different. Okay, now, and let's check out the sheath. So this is for the stag, the new one here. And you look here, you see Case XX there, and you can see some extra stamping work done there. You got stamping work done up here, and you can see the snap is at the top. And you look at this one, which comes with the stacked leather. You can see it's a different, this shape here in the middle is the same, that there, but it doesn't have the extra stamping along there. There's no extra stamping there. And again, this snaps down lower. This is a top snap. So, again, two knives from basically the same period of time. Oh, and neither one of these has a fuller. And we'll look at the basic blade shapes. This one here looks like it has just a slight swedge on it. Very slight. And this one doesn't look like it has it. So those are your blade shapes. Now this one looks like it's worn down just a little bit, but yeah. Now, here is a modern one. This one's just 2 or 3 years old, I believe. And this is one of my prize collections here, prize pieces in my collection. And this is the mini fin with the buffalo horn. And I just love this knife. And you can see the tang stamp there. And of course it's got the modern sheath, the wraparound sheath that Case now uses on their fixed blades. Oh, come on and talk, Tom. Here we go, W.W. Case & Sons, Bradford, PA. So again, same model of knife. You can see the pommels. Each one of them is just a little different. It's got the jimping, but I don't see a swedge on this one and no fuller again on that one. I still think that's got kind of a slight swedge to it. So yeah, this one appears to be just a little longer. It's hard to say. Well, no, I guess they're about the same. But isn't that interesting how, you know, you have basically the same model of knife. You got 3 different sheaths, and each one constructed just a little bit differently. But yeah, I just love these bird and trout knives. Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed this peek at a beautiful, beautiful stag handled Case bird and trout or mini fin. And until next time, have a very delightful day.